Welcome or welcome back. My name is Tasha. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please like the video, subscribe, and turn on the bell. Then head to the comments and let's chat. So I thought I'd come on and sow the last bit of seeds I had. These are my cold stratified seeds, so they've been in the freezer for a few months. This here is my Drama Queen poppy, Jim Hendrix poppy, and they do look pretty similar. After Midnight poppy, Black Swan poppy, California Red, California Orange, Antique Flemish, Hens and Chicks, Giant Rattleskin, which I'm going to use this for bread making. I also have a few vining flowers, Exotic Love Vine, I also have some Bells of Ireland, Lupin, it's a hybrid mix, and two Snapdragons, White, Black Prince, and the last vining is the Cathedral Bells. So my seed starting mix is my recipe: cocoa coir, vermiculite, perlite, equal parts, and it is moistened. I'll go ahead and do a few with you guys, and then we will follow the process on how they do. First one up is the Cathedral Bells, and they are pretty big seeds. And because they are pretty big, they are also new, and they are also by Renee's. I am actually going to only put that one there. Just as simple as that. For the Exotic Love Vine, these are pretty tiny, kind of looks like a brassica. And I'm going to do 2 of those, but I'm also only going to do 3. I have some started already. I'm going to add my tag right there and right there for these right here. I want my Bells of Ireland. I really love that in the cut flower garden. So I'm going to go ahead and finish these up, and then I'll be right back to show you once it's all done. Seeds are all sown in here with a little bit of vermiculite on top. I also seeded one of these smaller ones here with some lavender and some stock. And right in this DT 4-inch pot, I sown some green twisted coneflower, which was also in the freezer being cold stratified. I'm going to go ahead and keep up with you guys on how the germination does, but I thought I would come on and see the last bit of flowers that I had ready to go for the season. This is an experiment me and my son started at the end of January. As you can see, it's a 5-gallon bucket with drainage hose on the bottom, a Pro Mix potting soil and bone meal, and azomite, and there are 2 potatoes. Update on some of the medicinals. We are starting to see some germination. We got some ashwagandha. This one. Campaign. And we do have 2 of those. We've got a few rosemaries popping up. Nothing back there with the black sesame or the caraway. We have 1 black cohosh, and I will take it. There is 1 white sage, 1 of, I think that may be an orange thyme right there. There we go. 2 sage. Oh, it's perlite. Wanted to make sure it wasn't any mold. And to the very back, a few lemongrass. No, that was awful. It's kind of hard to get back there. Sorry about that. Here, that is all chamomile. And on here, it's just a pack of some old thyme seeds. And I just scattered it. And they're starting to pop up. On here, we still, oh, actually, we do have some feverfew popping up in there and back there, but none of the milk thistle. Got the tree collards back there. This is a berries and cream that I propagated from the garden last year. And over here, I can't quite see that label, but I believe that's lemon thyme. We've got a little bit there popping up. Over here is chamomile that I up potted, and it's doing pretty good. Up here is part of the tea garden and culinary herbs, so holy basil, Thai basil, mammoth dill, Ducart dill, teddy dill, and we've got some fennel and a lemongrass. Over here is quite a few flowers. This is hollyhock pom-pom. This is a wildflower mix back here. Over here is some Thai basil, blue spice basil, holy basil, quite a bit of that. And over here is the eucalyptus. And there's 2 varieties, but they're doing pretty good. That is how that here is looking. For this stand, got some stuff being watered. And of course, this is chamomile. A bunch of different mints as well as medicinal plants. And they're all being bottom watered. Same thing here, more medicinal plants. There is some amaranth popping up back there.
And they do go all the way back there. So it's quite a few. You want to see exactly which ones, I do have a video on it. Back there, we do have some shallots. Here is a lot of dill, as well as oats. Those are white oats. And more onions back there. This one here is about ready to get its first haircut. And underneath the light there are more of the medicinals, and there's quite a few that's popped up. This area is some soil block with some peppers. They are starting to germinate, so I've started coming through to thin them out to just one. Peppers are very slow growing, which is why I started so early and have so many. To the back are also some peppers. Those are the first set of peppers. Aphids took them out and they are trying to make a comeback. As well as all the way back there are more varieties of peppers. These look pretty good here. Roselles. And I've got 4 varieties of roselles. I've got the Zinger hibiscus, the sour Asian, Florida cranberry, as well as a white. And you can see the Florida cranberry here. So I am getting ready to up pot these and separate them because there is 2 in each pocket. And again, back here, more of the roselles. And in that corner, there are sweet onions. And to the back corner there is going to be some catnip as well as moringa. That's how that area is looking. For the grow tent, the light is off. I am going to cut them on, but we will hear the fan running, so I'm going to talk over that. All right. So in these bags here, I have some ginseng roots as well as some organic store-bought ginger. They take a while, which is why they are in here. Same thing here. Over in here, I've just got a few sweet potatoes, and they're sitting, and as they grow plants, once they're about 6 inches long, I go ahead and pull them off. Let's see if I can. That one's not quite ready yet, but when it does, I'll take them off, and you can see the difference of varieties based off the color of the leaf. I'll show you one that's being rooted when I go upstairs. Here is the blood orange. She's doing great. She's putting on new leaves. She looks really good. That's the calamandra back there. She also is putting on new leaves and is looking pretty good. The Meyer lemon took the worst shock when I transplanted it. So you're seeing a lot of the dried leaves down there. But she's beginning to bounce back. We're getting some new leaves along with white flies. If you've never seen them, very lightly there. And I come through and wash off the leaves with a little dish soap, a little baking soda, and just spray them and wash them, and that seems to control that. Here is the passion fruit. She didn't take too much shock once I transplanted her. She's got her footing, and as you can see, she is attaching herself just fine and beginning to vine up as well as over here. So that is the grow tent with the citrus and tropical plants. Update on the Vago stand. These are the brassica. So we've got some spinach, some red varieties of cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, and collards. And they are all looking pretty good. Here is one of the tea garden herbs and culinary herbs. So they are looking pretty good. Lots of basils. This is the holy basil. And if you can tell the size difference, they were sown the heaviest in the cells, and then I up potted all of them versus not as many seeds in one cell. So that's kind of the difference. If you decide to do mass sowing, you will see that. But again, all of these came out of the same tray, and you can see the definite size difference here. And again, many different varieties of basils. I think I did close to 15 varieties. Here is some of the flowers for the cut flower garden. So you got quite a bit of stock in here, and they're doing really good. And they also were mass sown. Here's another tray from that same 172 count cell trays, and this is the up hot. So we do have the basils mixed in, but we also have sage. We have some bronze fennel. Quite a few things there, okay? Here is another planter for the cut flower garden. We got some stock, straw flower on that one too. And then that is another tray of basils. And if you want to see all the varieties, I do have a video on the medicinals. This is a newer tray. This is from the Let Pot. So I've got I think there's only one of the eggplant. It says lipstick, but that's the newest tag. I use both sides. And these peppers here are all doing really good. And these are the newest ones that just began to germinate. So this tray is just a mixture of things. There's a cucumber that's a snacker, and this is the latest cucumber sown in there. So this has been up potted, repotted, a bunch of stuff. This is the hydroponics grown black mustard, and there's two of them. I took them out of the hydroponic and up potted those. Butterfly pea flower, cumin, and that too came out of the hydroponics. Butterfly pea flower. This one here I just up potted, and that is also butterfly pea flower, a different variety from a different seed company. And here is more onions, and there's also some thyme sprinkled in there. So I just did an up pot, that's why it looks disturbed, and up potted them into their own trays, and there's still some in there. It'll continue to pop up. That is that area there. This is the final tray, I believe. I think there's one more of that tea garden cell tray that I did, and just more basils and some fennel. There's some thyme and some sage in there. This is the Grow Well hydroponics. So we do got coleus that has germinated. There's an orange jalapeno. There's a pumpkin jalapeno. That is a Phyllis Blue pepper. Another coleus. There's a Notapino that has germinated. Feverfew. I am going to thin this out. You can see there's two, and that is a dwarf-sized tomato, Beauty of the Surf. There's a snack cucumber. I haven't seen any germination back here, so I did go ahead and put ashwagandha in there, and I can actually see it's trying to peek out there. So I'm gonna take that cover, and arnica, and it too is trying to germinate. So that is the Grow Well. For the Vigo Garden self-watering planter, the tags are, I'm not gonna know what it is. You can see the tags have wiped off. But I know that this is a brassica of some sort. I don't know what brassica. We'll know when it's bigger. Same thing here because the tags are off. But what I know is there's some kale. There is some lettuce, a few different lettuces. I know that that's lettuce. I know that that's lettuce. And that is lettuce. There's some chives. This may be a kale lettuce. That might be lettuce or a bok choy. This looks like it might be a cilantro. And we got a little germination happening there. So I'm going to be coming through, reseeding the rest. This is my first time with this planter, so we have to master her. Really quick over here, I up-potted that thyme that was over there in that tray with the onions. There is some ginger that is organic, store-bought. I did soak it for 6 hours and then put it over here, and there's a heat mat under here as well as a light. I'm not going to cover this because I don't want to get any mold growing. That also is a tray of thyme from that up pot with the onions. Over here we have more flowers. We've got some marigolds. We've got some passion flower and some money plant. There's just some basil that came out of that tea garden tray. They were very, very tiny, so I took the chance on putting them over here just to see if they would grow, and they are. Let me bring this around here. So right in here is a sweet potato that I took off of the plant down in the grow tent, and that is how the roots are looking now. They look really, really good. And inside here are some herbs, mints in particular, from the garden last year that I took off and just have them rooting in here. Really water and just a little splash of root hormone. This tray has some brassicas and a few peppers and a few dwarf tomatoes. They're not quite ready to be up potted yet, so we'll leave them. For this hydroponics, so it started off with all the ones that we saw over there, the black mustard as well as the cumin, but they got so big so fast I went ahead and pulled them out, and then I put some new sponges in here. So that's why some areas here don't have any growth versus the things that are growing strong. These are going to be up potted next. This is clary sage. There's a few peppers. That's a Hawaiian sweet. There's a UFO purple back there, as well as some basils. This here is a roselle I just put in. That is a lettuce leaf basil, some lemon basil, There's some white horehound, which is a medicinal, and some more lettuces, as well as some cilantro, and there is some sage back there. So this one is going to get up potted this weekend. Quite a bit of stuff in that one. And that is how that tray looks. This itty bitty is starting to have some germination, so I am seeing some red leaf lettuce here. There is a zinger hibiscus there. We don't have any germination yet in here. And I do see some tarragon coming up there. So there's going to be some spearmint here, parsley here. And over here in the middle is also some roselle. Now to Big Baby, this is the Arrow Garden Farm Stand. I've got some loofah, and these both are a small variety of loofah. Here and here are purple tomatillos, cucumber. That I believe is a broccoli, and that is also a roselle. And here in the middle, oh, we got some germination here. These are peppers. So this is the first pepper here to germinate. I can't tell you the variety because it has wiped off. I have to look at my book. And the other three have not. I just sown some more arnica in there. And in here is some lamb's ear. Once this stuff begins to grow more, you can raise the light, right? But right now we need it closer down. Over here are the tomatoes that we sowed a night ago, so there's no germination. This is the Let Pot seed starter. Here we've got some lemon and mandarin balm that is beginning to germinate in both of those. Korean mint is germinating here, and I just seeded these empty pockets here, and the rest are brassicas, whether kale, broccoli, whatever. Those are just some flowers that I seeded a few days ago. I thank you guys so much for coming over and rocking with me. Please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and become a part of my garden community. Head down to the comment section. Let me know who you are, where you growing from. Talk to me. I talk back. Until the next video. Bye for now.